I set you a challenge last year to read 5 books in 5 days and hopefully give them all 5 stars. And I'm going to do it again. And I have 5 really good book recommendations to help you out. So, welcome back to Book Break. The latest in my series of summary book recommendation videos is all about short books that you can read all in one day. And I happen to know that's true because I have read all of these in exactly one day each. If you do try out the 5 books, 5 days, 5 stars challenge, we would love to see. Let us know in the comments below if you gave it a go and if you were successful, if you liked the books, or if you want to post about it on social media, tag us at Bookbreak UK on Instagram or on TikTok, and then we can see how you got on, because I always love seeing all of your reading. And maybe you will actually pick these 5 books because I think you have a really good chance at getting 5 5-star reads if you read these. The first up is Rosarita by Anita Desai, and something amazing about this book is that the author is 86 years old and she has had a really incredible career behind her. So this gorgeous little novella is about a young woman called Bonita who is on a trip to San Miguel. From her native India, she has gone to San Miguel to help her learn Spanish. And while she's there, sitting on a park bench, a stranger approaches her, a woman that she's never seen before in her life, but who claims to recognize her because she is the spitting image of her mother. So this woman is convinced that she met her mother many years ago on a trip to San Miguel where she was learning to be a painter. And the daughter, Benita, never knew any of this about her mother, never knew that she had been here, never knew that she was an artist. And so she isn't sure whether she believes this woman, but it's about their journey to try and find out more about her mother's past. So it's really moving. It's about the things that are passed down through generations. It's about the secrets that are held and that aren't passed down, that aren't told through the generations. It's about one woman's thwarted ambition and the expectations on women. It's about a lot of things packed into a very short little book, fewer than 100 pages. If you want to read a book that's a really, really strong sense of place, this is a great one. I felt like I could see everything that was being described. I could feel the heat on my skin. I could smell everything. I could almost taste everything. You know, it's really a book that really appeals to all of your senses. So it's lovely, a lovely way to go on a trip this summer without having to leave your bed or wherever you do your reading. Another book about families, Western Lane by Chetna Maru. This book was longlisted for the Women's Prize and shortlisted for the Booker Prize. So it's a really incredible novel. This one is about a young girl who channels her grief after the death of her mother into playing squash. She's being coached by her father. And this kind of separates her from her sisters, who are all coping with their grief in slightly different ways. So again, this is a really moving book, and it's a book about the things that are left unsaid in relationships and the kind of wordless love that exists in families. And never has love between a parent and child been so put to the test than in The End We Start From by Megan Hunter, which follows a dystopian, very, very near future version of London that has been flooded because of climate change. And a mother has just given birth and has to protect her newborn baby at all costs. This book has just been adapted into a film this year starring Jodie Comer, which was brilliant. I really, really recommend it. Actually, I've made a video which I will link below all about the book and the movie and how they compare up. So I really recommend both. This book is incredibly tense. It's incredibly gripping. It's a book that manages to pack a lot into very few words. It's a short book as it is, and I love the way that it's written. It's so sparse in a really beautiful way. Every word on every page is deliberate. The theme of this mother's love for her child is what turns a book that's really full of fear and despair and stuff that is scarily believable and plausible and that a lot of us lie awake at night worrying about. It turns all of that into a book that is about love and about hope. And this book really made me change the way that I have been thinking about our future. This book is set in a Japanese cafe with a twist. It is run by a father-daughter duo of food detectives. So if you come to this cafe with a particular memory of a dish that is linked to a certain moment in your life and that you have never been able to recreate quite the same way again, they will make it for you. I loved so much about this book. I absolutely loved reading all the descriptions of food. I genuinely wanted to eat everything they talked about. It sounded so heavenly. But I also loved exploring everyone's stories. So everyone who comes to this cafe has a different moment in their past that they're struggling to understand or accept. And in telling their story and coming up with all of the clues that help the father-daughter duo find out the right ingredients to use, they unlock certain memories and certain feelings that they maybe hadn't realized that they had. And so it's about coming to the cafe, eating a delicious dish, and also leaving more contented with where your life has led you to. So it's a really moving book, a bit of a tearjerker, a really heartwarming one. And finally, Open Throat by Henry Hoke, which is a very unusual book because it is narrated by a mountain lion. This book is a lot of fun and again manages to pack so much into such a short book. All of these authors are so clever. I love an author who can tell such a full, rich story in so few words. I think it's such a skill. Henry Hoke, again, a bit like the Megan Hunter that I showed you, does not use that many words on a page. Everything is here for a reason. And through the eyes of this mountain lion, we look at LA, where he lives, in a whole new way. We look at the climate crisis in a new way. We look at homelessness in a new way. We look at humans in a different way. The things that they say to each other, the ways that they treat each other, when seen through the perspective of a creature from nature, are quite shocking and quite jarring. The book is also wonderfully queer, and I never knew that you could really have a narrator that was a queer mountain lion, but Henry Hoke has managed it, and it's marvellous. I absolutely loved this book, as I loved every book on this list. So those are my recommendations for reading 5 books in 5 days that I really think you will give 5 stars to, and I would love to know how you get on with this challenge. And if you have any short book recommendations of your own, do leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.